If there's one thing I regret so much when I got started with YouTube years back, it's basically because I did not learn these 5 simple video editing techniques that could have actually made my videos 10 times more engaging than they usually do. At first, I used to make videos about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and they barely get more than 1 minute of average view time. And what this basically means is simply a lot of people click off my video in less than
30 seconds of actually watching the video.
And this actually hurt my channel so much that I had to look for an alternative. And during the research for alternative, I was able to come up with 5 simple mistakes that I was personally doing, and that's what I'm going to share with you in this video. So basically in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 simple things you can do as a content creator to make your videos 10 times more engaging than they currently are. So guys, the first part here is basically plan before record. Now what I mean by plan before record is simply, a lot of you, once you come to content creation, you just record videos at random, no pure plan, no structure, nothing, and then you just go ahead recording the video. Now here's one thing you must know: no matter how good you are, at first I thought I was one of the most pro content creators because I wasn't scripting my videos. I would just take title and I would just record at random, no script, no line to follow, nothing. But then I came to realize that doing this was actually hurting my channel because I noticed my videos weren't having a proper structure. At times when I'm watching my videos myself, I do get confused at a point. So what did I do? Well, instead of just going straight, picking a title and going to record my videos, I decided to start planning my videos. Now when it comes to planning the videos, there's a simple structure I often use. As you can see on your screen right now, I start from problem, story, and then solution. Now, how does this structure work? The intro of your video should mainly focus on telling people the problem they are facing, like using it to let them know the problem you're about to solve in the video. And after that, you move on to the story itself, where you basically tell stories about this particular problem. And these stories could be how this problem affected you, how it could affect them, or how it's already affecting them. Now from there, you move on to the next section. And the next section is basically where I present the solution. Now if you take this my video from top to bottom, you realize that there are basically only 3 sections: the problem, the story, and then the solution. So once your video follows this pattern, you have high chance of actually keeping audience glued. And the next part here is basically cut the fluff. Now what I basically means by cutting the fluff is simply, there are some part of the video whereby you made some errors. This could be like all those unnecessary errors that are not part of the video. This basically cut them off, mostly in the first 60 seconds of your video. And why is this important? When you are recording video and then there's so much fluff in your video, a lot of people watch your video will see that, come on, this person is not speaking with any confidence. How then do you believe what he's saying? And on top of that, it actually makes the video boring because you talk a little bit and you'll be like Now I was personally doing this and I was receiving a lot of comment from my audience, and starting to cut out all of these points in my video actually made my video a bit faster. Remember, the most key and important thing when it comes to recording video is simply keeping the pace tighter. This basically means that what? Keep them joined together. There should be pace in your video, but then the pace shouldn't be that noticed. That's why you need to remove all these unnecessary filler words that are not part of the video. If you realize that you made a mistake at any point, no need keeping it, cut it off. Now the step number 3 here is simply where attentions are won, and this is known as the pattern interrupt. So guys, basically pattern interrupt is basically a process whereby you use to reset your audience brain. Now audience, when they are watching your video, they are used to the usual flat screen they are seeing. So instead of just keeping this flat scene up and making it feel bored and making your video scene predictable, what you can basically do is simply, number 1, you can introduce zoom in effect, where you basically zoom in on a particular scene. Or on the other hand, you can basically use pop-up text. So while the scene is going on, what you basically do is simply just pop up a text on the screen, maybe some points that you want to list out, or you just mute your actual audio and then pop up a particular sentence on the screen for that section alone. Now this one will help reset your audience brain. And on the other hand as well, you can bring out memes. And if you are watching a lot of videos from other creators, you often see that what? Once in a while they display all these memes on the video screen. Maybe they just bring some funny memes or some movie clip to just change the viewer's direction. Now this is basically a process whereby they reset your brain to bring you back to the video again. They know that you are watching this video and you are getting bored gradually with the consistent scene you are seeing. So the thing they need to do here is basically by interrupting your brain. And you need to do this at least every 1 to 2 minutes in your video. It actually helps to change the viewer's brain. And if you can do it more consistently as well, there is no problem. But I always advise every 1 to 2 minutes, let there be a little bit change. Even if it's just a camera angle you are changing, there's no problem. Just make sure you are changing something. So basically on this session is simply utilize pattern interrupt, because this is the main thing that wins users' attention. And if you watch my video intro carefully, you will notice that there were points whereby I zoomed in, there were points whereby I didn't do anything, I just lowered my audio, or there were points whereby I went mute for a minute. I went mute for some few seconds. Now all these points whereby I go mute, I intentionally do them, it's not a mistake. And the reason why I go mute or I prolong some words like and or something like, the reason why I do all these things is just to get you back onto the scene and nothing else. It's not a mistake, it's an intentional shot. And one thing I've come to realize is that a lot of you watching these videos, you notice these points more than the actual thing you are listening to, and this is the importance of pattern interrupt. You are interrupting your audience, but not in a way that drives them away from the video, but it resets their brain and then bring them back to the video again. The point number 4 is basically music and sound design. And when it comes to creating content, a lot of you content creators, you keep avoiding this particular part. You keep avoiding the importance of music or relative sound in your videos. Now if you notice my videos, at every point of transition I bring in a sound, and the sound is not like the usual one here. There's a little bit of different, maybe it fades in gradually, or I basically just pop it in with a loud sound that is a bit louder than my actual video, or my actual video goes a little bit muted and then that other sound comes in. Now this is very important, as for sound is part of your game. In order to keep users watching, you need to make sure that your sound is up and running. Like for example, why do you listen to music? You listen to music because of the vibe you get from it. Now as a content creator as well, there are people who watch your videos that they just want that vibe to flow with. So in this way you can implement background sounds, and when you're implementing background sound, there are so many places where you can get free background musics. And if you are looking for a place to get, I'll be displaying a video on the screen right now. Make sure you watch that particular video. In that video I've actually shared some free websites where you can go get free background musics to use in your videos. Now this is very important. You need to add background musics to your video to actually keep it up. And you don't have to use this background sync consistently. You can just put it in some sections, then you cut it, other sections go mute, then you bring the background music up again. You are adding it by pattern and not just adding it randomly. Like some people, they just download full background music and then they add it from the beginning to the end of the video. Now this is not nice. When you are using background music, use this with smartness. Maybe it plays for about 1 minute and then it goes silent for some few seconds, then you bring it back in again, it goes silent again. In this way you are actually playing with the people's mind, because they are following the rhythm of the song alongside the video. So in this way there's no way they can go back, because the song is picking up them. When they think they are about to hit the main milestone in the song, then the song suddenly goes down. Now when it goes down, the attention now comes back to the full video again and gets to a point whereby the song then comes up again, then they pick up from the previous rhythm where they left. And on the other hand is simply, when you are popping out elements in your videos, make sure you also you add some pop-up sound. This could be normal notification sound, some zoom effect, or some slide effect. Like depending on the scene, depending on the animation you are using on the scene, should actually determine the sound. Now the final point is basically, it's time for you to polish the whole thing. And when it comes to polishing your videos, there are so many things you can add. Number 1, you can add transitions. Like if you watch this video from beginning to this point, when I'm going from point 1 to point 2, I don't just say point 1 then I jump over to point 2. There's either a slide effect, a push down, or a zoom in or zoom out effect, or just a fully zoomed section. Like basically I try changing the section a little bit, something. The section don't just move from one to another. There's something actually pushing it from one level to the other. Now I do this because it's very important letting people know that okay guys, we are exiting this section and we are going into this section. So one thing you can use to make your videos more interesting is simply, when it comes to the point number 5, where we say polishing your videos, you can add transitions, you can add color grading. Like when you are shooting your videos, mostly for those of you who don't use steady lighting, maybe you are switching positions, which means that your light angle will change. The part of your face the light cast in will actually change. And if you are using normal window light as well, remember that the daylight is not balanced, it goes up, it comes down. So you can basically use color grading to actually keep the video color at a flat level. Like some of my videos, if you watch carefully, notice that they are extra blue than some videos. Now any of my videos that you notice that is extra black than this, extra blue than this, basically know that I've done color grading on it. And I do all of this on DaVinci Resolve. And you can also do it on CapCut as well, there is no problem. Another thing is simply make sure you add animations. Maybe you can add pop-up text, you can add like basically any form of animation you can actually add, but whatever thing you're adding to your video, make sure it adds up to the original scene and not just something outside the scene. And the final thing here is simply always remember to add call to actions in your video. Your YouTube video is totally useless if you don't tell viewers what to do. Like I will always tell you, subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, and also drop a comment because I really appreciate your comment. And on the other hand as well, I will always tell you to also check out my website if you are looking for a reliable social media manager, video editor, or a graphic designer that can actually work with your brand, or you need someone to set up a website for your company. Now guys, that is basically all I have for you for the 5 points in this video. Now, so guys, here's one thing you need to remember. Video editing doesn't have to be complicated. You just have to be very simple, straightforward, but make sure that what the story is alive, and that is the most important part of it. So guys, see you in my next video. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, like this video, and tell me what you feel down in the comment section as well. So bye.